What if the meat in your fridge right now was quietly recalled, and no one told you? Chicken strips, deli turkey, frozen meals, they look fine, smell fine. But some are hiding Listeria, Salmonella, even metal shards. And here's the worst part. Most families never find out until someone ends up sick. A USDA report shows over 22 million pounds of meat and poultry were recalled in just 1 year. Most of it already in homes, restaurants, or school kitchens before the alert went public. The packaging doesn't change, the stores don't always post warnings, and the risk can sit quietly in your freezer for months. That's why today we're exposing 9 supermarket meats under recent recall, the hidden dangers inside them, and simple swaps that can keep your family safe. Because when the label doesn't tell the whole story, you need to know where the danger really starts. This is BizWorld Explorer, uncovering the hidden truths behind everyday food brands and businesses so you know what's really safe to eat and what's quietly putting you at risk. Make sure to subscribe now and keep watching, because the next recall could be closer to your dinner table than you think. 1. Tyson. Tyson is one of the biggest chicken brands in America. Families trust it because it's everywhere, priced for busy weeks, and easy to cook. That size and reach make it a household name. But recalls have shown the other side. Tyson has pulled back millions of pounds of chicken in recent years for problems like salmonella, listeria, and even metal pieces in ready-to-eat strips. Packages often looked normal. The only sign was the lot code listed in a recall notice. That means risk can sit quietly in a freezer until someone checks. This matters because chicken is often served fast, strips, nuggets, or diced meat in salads. When ready-to-eat items are recalled, they may have been eaten with little or no reheating. Even raw chicken needs careful handling. If it isn't cooked to 165 degrees all the way through, germs can survive the meal. Who faces the most danger? Anyone can get sick, but the impact is heavier for families with small children, pregnant people, and those with health conditions. What starts as stomach pain can grow into a serious illness. There are safer ways to shop. Fresh cuts from the butcher counter or a well-kept meat case let you see the product up close. Smaller packs move faster through the fridge, leaving less time for problems. A simple thermometer at home takes the guesswork out of cooking, 165 degrees every time. And checking the USDA FSIS recall page before shopping makes sure no surprise is waiting in the freezer. Tyson is trusted because it saves time, but trust works best with awareness. With smaller packs, safe cooking, and quick recall checks, you can keep the convenience while protecting the table. Rehook. Before we open the freezer door, a quick stop at the cookout table. The hot dog name everyone knows, and the quiet catch baked into its cure. Oscar Mayer. Oscar Mayer feels like home food. Hot dogs on a summer grill, deli slices in a lunchbox. The packs are easy to find, easy to store, and easy to use. Price, taste, and speed make them a reliable choice when dinner needs to happen now. That is why this brand sits in so many fridges week after week. The part most people don't think about is how many classic hot dogs and cold cuts are cured. Curing salts, nitrites or nitrates, help keep that rosy color, slow spoilage, and deliver the familiar bite. Even when a label uses natural sources like cultured celery, the job being done is often the same. Add high heat or heavy charring, and you get the flavor of summer, but you also raise the chance of unwanted byproducts. You cannot see them, and you cannot smell them. It is just part of how cured meats behave in the pan or on the grill. Who needs to be most careful? Anyone who eats a lot of processed meat can dial it back and feel better about the everyday routine. But the pressure climbs for families with young kids, people managing health conditions, and anyone watching blood pressure. Processed meats are often salty, so numbers add up fast across a day. Hot dogs and deli slices also feel small, which makes it easy to eat more than planned. There are simple ways to keep the comfort without the extra load. Look for packages that say no nitrite or nitrate added, and read the back so you know how the curing was done. Choose low-sodium turkey or chicken for weekday sandwiches, and save the classic dogs for a treat. Cook gently, bake or pan heat, so you get warmth and browning without deep char. When time allows, roast a small turkey breast or chicken at home and slice it yourself. The taste is clean, the label is short, and leftovers make better lunches. And since labels steer our choices, let's talk about when a label leaves something out. Great value, and the trouble that starts when an allergen isn't listed at all. Which deli meat do you trust most, and why? Let us know in the comments. Great value. Great value is easy on the budget and easy to find. Walmart is in most towns, so these packs are always close by. The shelves carry many options: frozen meals, sausages, meatballs, deli meats. For many families, it keeps the cart full without breaking the bank. That is why it ends up in so many kitchens. The problem shows up when a label leaves out an allergen. A product can contain milk, soy, wheat, eggs, peanuts, or tree nuts, but the label might not say so. That mistake triggers recalls. It can happen when factories switch recipes, when the wrong film goes on a package, or when a sauce adds an ingredient that was not on the list. The food looks normal. The price looks normal. The risk is hidden in a missing word. Who feels it first? People with food allergies and their families. One bite of an unlabeled allergen can bring hives, swelling, stomach pain, or trouble breathing. At a school lunch table, a small taste can turn a good day into a scary one. Even mild reactions can ruin a meal and a night. No one wants that surprise at the dinner table. There are simple ways to lower the risk and still save money. Choose items with very clear labels from brands that focus on allergen control. Favor plain, single-ingredient meats, fresh chicken breasts, turkey cutlets, or beef with nothing added. With simple cuts, you know what you are buying. Be careful with breaded or sauced products, because that is where unexpected ingredients often hide. Keep packages until the food is gone, so you can match codes if a recall appears later. If a label looks odd or different from what you remember, set it aside and grab another pack. Great value helps stretch a budget. Keep that win, but slow down for the allergen line and pick simpler cuts when you are unsure. Saving money is smart, but sometimes the package isn't telling the whole story. Next up, we'll look at a bulk brand that sells you more water than meat. Kirkland Signature. Kirkland Signature is Costco's pride. Shoppers trust it because buying in bulk feels like a smart deal. The big packs promise lower prices per pound, and families see value in filling the freezer at once. For many households, Kirkland meat is the go-to choice for stretching the budget. But there's a detail in some of those bulk packs that changes the math. Many meat products are sold with added brine or water solutions. On the label, it may read, "Enhanced with up to 15% solution." That extra liquid adds weight to the package, but it isn't food you can chew. You pay for water as if it were meat. Once the pack is cooked, the liquid drains away, and the portion on the plate looks smaller than expected. This practice makes the price tag look better at first glance, but the real value shrinks. What looked like a week's worth of chicken might cook down to less. For families on a budget, that means the savings aren't as big as they seemed. It's a quiet form of shrinkflation. Less meat for the same dollar, only hidden in the package itself. Who feels this most? Busy families who rely on bulk packs to save time and money? They think they're filling the freezer for weeks, but end up running out faster. It also matters for people watching sodium, since brine often carries extra salt. What looks like plain chicken may come with a heavier sodium load than expected. There are easy swaps. Look for labels that say "no added water" or "minimally processed." Compare drained weight when it's listed. Buying smaller packs from the butcher or meat counter may give you more true meat per pound. The portions might be smaller up front, but what you cook is what you keep. Kirkland proves that bulk isn't always the best deal. And if labels can blur the truth with water weight, what about labels that call something fully cooked when it still needs care? That's where we're headed next. Hillshire Farm. Would you keep this in your freezer after hearing this? Tell us in the comments. If this kind of breakdown helps you shop smarter, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Hillshire Farm. Hillshire Farm is a brand people grab when they want quick, hearty meals. The sausages, smoked meats, and deli cuts look ready to go. The label often says "fully cooked," which feels safe and convenient. Families trust that wording and may skip extra steps in the kitchen. That is why Hillshire Farm products have a steady place in carts across the country. But the phrase "fully cooked" can be confusing. Some products are safe to eat cold, but others still need reheating to kill bacteria that may be present after packaging. If the label isn't clear, shoppers may assume the meat is ready to eat straight from the fridge. That's where trouble starts. Eating something that looks and sounds ready but isn't handled correctly raises the chance of illness. This matters most for people who lean on convenience foods, parents packing lunches, workers rushing to heat up dinner, or anyone who doesn't have time to double-check. A quick snack from the fridge can seem harmless, yet the risk comes from skipping that reheating step. For people with weaker immune systems, kids, or those managing health concerns, that mistake can have stronger effects. The safer path is simple. Always read the label closely. If it says to reheat, follow the directions and use a food thermometer to be sure. For sausages and smoked meats, heat to at least 165-degree tolerance at the center. If you want to skip reheating altogether, choose options that are clearly marked as ready to eat, such as deli slices from trusted lines. Smaller packages also help, since they spend less time open in the fridge. Hillshire Farm shows how one phrase can cause confusion. The word "fully cooked" sounds final, but safe handling is still needed. And if words can mislead, what about times when the problem isn't the label at all, but something unexpected inside the food itself? That brings us to Banquet. Banquet frozen meals. Banquet has been a freezer staple for decades. The price is low, the meals are filling, and the prep is as easy as a microwave timer. Families buy them for quick weeknight dinners, and students or single shoppers often rely on them for convenience. That's why Banquet trays are so common in freezers across the country. But cheap and fast can come with hidden surprises. Banquet has been part of recalls after pieces of plastic, bits of metal, or even bone fragments were found in meals. These are called foreign material recalls by the USDA FSIS. They can happen when machinery breaks down on the processing line, or when bones slip past trimming. The danger is simple. You don't expect sharp or hard objects in a bite of soft food. A small shard can crack a tooth, cut a mouth, or worse if swallowed. This risk is hard to spot before eating. Because the meals look perfectly normal in the package, a customer only knows once the fork is in hand. That's why FSIS alerts are so important. If a batch is recalled, it means the risk is real, even if not every tray carries a fragment. The people most at risk are the ones who rely on these meals most often: busy parents, students, or older adults looking for affordable, ready-made dinners. For them, Banquet feels like a safe shortcut. But a recall shows how even budget meals can carry unexpected hazards. There are safer ways to enjoy frozen dinners without giving up convenience. Smaller batch frozen brands often have tighter quality checks. When plating food, take a moment to glance at textures and chew carefully at the start. Another option is cooking a larger homemade meal, then freezing portions in your own containers for quick reheat later. The cost stays low, and you know exactly what went in. Banquet proves that what looks simple can still carry hidden risks. And if frozen meals can surprise you with foreign objects, what about fresh turkey products that depend on staying cold every step of the way? Next up, Jennie-O. Would you keep this in your freezer after hearing this? Tell us in the comments. Jennie-O is one of the best-known turkey brands in the country. People buy it because turkey feels like a leaner, healthier option compared to beef or pork. You see the name on ground turkey, deli slices, and pre-cooked products that promise both nutrition and convenience. For many families, it's a go-to choice for quick, lighter meals. But turkey, like chicken, is very sensitive to temperature. From the factory, to the truck, to the store, and finally into your fridge, the meat has to stay cold the entire way. This is called the cold chain. If that chain breaks, even for a few hours, the risk goes up. Deli meats and pre-cooked turkey are especially tricky because they are often eaten cold or with only light reheating. If bacteria grow during a temperature slip, it may not be killed before the food is eaten. That's why recalls sometimes involve ready-to-eat turkey products. If storage temperatures weren't right, bacteria like Listeria can take hold. The package may look fine, the smell may seem normal, but the danger is there. The people most at risk are anyone who eats these meats often, especially families with kids, older adults, or those with health conditions. A sandwich that looks safe can cause stomach pain, fever, or worse if the cold chain was broken. The good news is there are simple steps to protect yourself. When shopping, grab deli meats and turkey products at the very end of the trip so they spend less time in the cart. Use an insulated bag or small cooler in the car, especially on hot days. At home, store the packs in the coldest part of the fridge, not the door where temps swing. Buy smaller portions so they get eaten faster, and pay close attention to use-by dates. Jennie-O shows how even a lean, trusted option can turn risky if it isn't kept cold enough. And if temperature slips can create problems we can't see, what about canned meats that face a very different risk? Processing failures that can threaten the shelf itself. Next, Armour Star canned meats. Armour Star canned meats. Armour Star canned meats sit on pantry shelves across America. People buy them because they last a long time without refrigeration. They're cheap, and they provide quick protein when fresh meat isn't an option. For families on tight budgets, or anyone who wants emergency food on hand, these cans feel like a safe, reliable backup. But canned meats are only safe if the sterilization process works as it should. When cans are sealed, they're heated to kill harmful bacteria and spores. If the process is done wrong, even by a small margin, dangerous bacteria can survive. One of the most serious concerns is botulism. This illness is rare but severe, and it has been tied to cases where canned or jarred foods were not properly sterilized. The problem is, you cannot see, smell, or taste it. A can can look fine on the outside and still carry risk inside. That's why FSIS and FDA treat any processing deviation recall very seriously. If equipment fails, if heat doesn't reach the right level, or if sealing isn't correct, entire lots of canned goods may be recalled. Consumers often don't hear about these recalls right away, since the cans may sit in storage for months before use. By then, the warning may already be old news. The people most at risk are those who rely on canned meats often. families using them as cheap everyday protein, or households stocking up for emergencies. A single can is unlikely to cause harm if processed correctly, but if something slips at the plant, the risk can be much larger than one meal. There are safer ways to use canned meats without losing the convenience. Rotate your pantry often so food doesn't sit for years. Stick to brands that clearly share lot numbers and expiration dates, so you can check recalls quickly. If a can looks swollen, rusted, or damaged, do not open it. Throw it away. And when possible, balance canned meats with fresh or frozen protein to keep variety in the diet. Armour Star proves that long shelf life doesn't always mean long-term safety. And if cans can carry hidden risks from the factory, what about everyday convenience packs loaded with another kind of hidden problem? Too much salt? That brings us to Hormel. We're almost at the end, but if you want more hidden truths like this, don't forget to subscribe and stay with us. Hormel is one of the most trusted names in pre-cooked meats. You see it in bacon, ham, pepperoni, and ready-to-eat packs. Families buy it because it's fast, tasty, and easy to use in breakfasts, lunches, and snacks. The brand's history and wide variety of products make it a go-to choice for many shoppers who want convenience without cooking from scratch. But with that convenience comes a hidden load: sodium. Many Hormel products are packed with salt to preserve flavor and extend shelf life. A single serving of ham or pepperoni can carry more sodium than you'd expect, sometimes close to half of what an adult should have in an entire day. Eat a few slices at breakfast, add some pepperoni to pizza at dinner, and the numbers rise fast. The food doesn't look dangerous, but too much salt puts extra strain on the body. Who feels this most? Anyone can get weighed down by too much sodium, but it's especially tough for people watching blood pressure, heart health, or kidney health. For families, the habit also sneaks up. Kids who eat salty foods early may crave more of them later. The risk builds slowly, meal after meal, until the numbers add up in ways you may not notice. There are better ways to enjoy the same flavors. Many brands, including Hormel itself, offer low-sodium lines. Fresh deli cuts from a trusted counter often carry less salt, especially if you ask for plain roasted turkey or chicken. Cooking at home is the best swap. Roasting a small ham or turkey breast lets you control how much salt goes in, and leftovers make better sandwiches without the heavy load. Hormel shows that even trusted convenience foods can carry a quiet cost. And when you step back and look across all 9 brands, a clear picture appears. Recalls and hidden risks are everywhere, but so are safer swaps that keep your meals both easy and safe. Safer swaps and smarter shopping. Across these 9 brands, one truth stands out. Convenience often comes with hidden risks. But the good news is that safer choices are within reach, and most do not cost much more. A few small changes in how you shop and store food can make a big difference for your family. Start with fresh cuts from the butcher counter or meat case. These cuts are usually just meat, without added brine, water, or heavy preservatives. You pay for what you see, and you know exactly how to handle it at home. For families watching salt, this is one of the simplest ways to lower sodium without giving up meat altogether. For packaged products, look closely at the labels. A phrase like "enhanced with up to 15% solution" means water or brine was added, which raises weight and sodium. Choosing packs that say "no added water" or "minimally processed" gives you more meat for your money. When shopping store brands, allergen-certified products are worth the attention. They go through extra checks to make sure labels match what is inside, which matters for anyone with allergies. Low-sodium lines are another smart swap. Many brands now sell lower-salt versions of ham, turkey, or bacon. The taste is close to the same, but the numbers are easier on your body. Frozen options can also be a safe choice, especially when the ingredient list is short and simple. Look for meals made in smaller batches with fewer additives. At home, a few habits keep food safer. Check FSIS or FDA recall pages before big shopping trips. Store meat and frozen items quickly once you get home and keep them in the coldest part of your fridge or freezer. Compare portion weight with drained weight when it's listed, so you know what you're really paying for. Shopping smarter doesn't mean giving up your favorite meals. It just means choosing cuts and packs that give you real value, real safety, and real peace of mind. Before we wrap up, this isn't about fear, it's about awareness. Recalls happen more often than most shoppers realize, and the risks can touch everyday products that sit in millions of kitchens. But knowing where problems hide gives you power. When you check recalls, read labels closely, and handle food with care at home, you lower the chance of trouble reaching your table. It's easy to feel like these issues are out of your control, but that isn't the full story. You decide what to buy. You decide how to store it and how to cook it. Those choices matter more than any marketing slogan on a package. Even a quick glance at the recall page before a grocery run can make the difference between safe meals and unwanted risks. And here's the key point. This doesn't mean giving up your favorites. You don't have to stop buying chicken, deli meats, frozen meals, or canned goods. It's about being selective, choosing the packs that offer better labeling, less added salt, or no extra water weight. Awareness is the tool that keeps your meals both safe and enjoyable. With a few simple habits, you can keep the foods you love while protecting the people you care about most. Which brand shocked you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your story might help another family stay safe. And if you want daily alerts on hidden food risks, subscribe now and turn on notifications. We'll keep uncovering the hidden truths behind everyday foods, so you know what's safe and what deserves a second look. Coming up, we'll dive into another side of the supermarket, the hidden risks in holiday meats that many families serve without a second thought. Stay tuned.